Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl Kia, and I am back for another video. And I am actually back for a really, really interesting and fun one. So recently, Akaash Singh from the Flagrant podcast has been under a little bit of fire, and not because of his jokes he's made in any of his sets or any of his comedy shows. It's literally about his wife. So his wife and his wife has a podcast, and she's been saying some really interesting things in the podcast. She actually posted a video of him and her arguing over their closet, where she kind of calls him names and just kind of attempting to be funny. And it's a funny video, but it can also been taken out of context, and it's absolutely been taken out of context, not text, and I want to talk about it. And there's so much more to this than, what meets the eye, and she's just being loud and crazy and da da da. It's so much more to that. Um, Akash Singh has been very much against the red pill space. He thinks it's corny and stupid. And so does his podcast co-host Andrew Schultz. They've always thought it was corny and stupid. And they've actually gotten into it multiple times with Myron Gaines. Once on their actual show, and then tweets and stuff back and forth, over the last, I want to say, 3 years. So this all started. So let me just say, the reason why this is such a big deal that Akash's wife is out here just making really, she's trying to be funny and she's failing flat on her face. Fine. The reason why this is all coming out and being such a big deal is because of where Akash has stood on, his wife being married, being a good husband, whatever. And the Red Pill guy, specifically Myron from Fresh and Fit, has been kind of calling him the P word and basically saying that you're the P word, you're the B word. I'm not gonna cuss because I'm on my platform, like calling him all kinds of names. And this is just basically proof and gasoline for Myron to say that he's right because Akash's wife is doing these things. So let's go back to where all of this started from. This didn't just happen because Myron started attacking Akash. They had an issue back from when Myron appeared on the Flagrant podcast, and we're gonna watch this clip right now. Again, context is really important to show that this is goes back a while. So give me a second.
Like race doesn't.
I'm gonna run it a little bit.
Her race is irrelevant if she matches certain traits that I'm looking for in a woman. But what I'm saying is that most of the women that I've dealt with just don't tend to be black, and it's not something I necessarily go for.
That black women tend not to have? This is a dangerous question, but I have to ask.
I mean, there's obviously, we know the stereotypes, which I won't even go into right now. But a lot of the time, it doesn't necessarily match with what I'm looking for.
Okay.
So
yeah. Wait, quick question for y'all in here. Have you ever dated a black chick?
Yeah.
Have you?
Only Indian girls.
Have you?
Oh.
That's why, again, I have.
So, if you were to prefer a girl, would you date her? Question for you.
I don't look at. I'm like race doesn't come into play. Like I just look at the traits. Like you guys, that's why I don't understand how you don't see an issue with what you said, because you both just said, "Hey, I look for traits first, like the personality traits, and it doesn't matter her skin tone." But then in the clip, you guys are saying, "I don't date black. I don't date dark. I don't fuck with Shaniqua." Like you're just talking about race in that entire clip. So how do you not see the problem with the clip when you both just say, "Hey, I go for personality"?
You said
first.
LaShonda and LaQuisha.
And you said you don't do dark.
That was a joke, bro.
Oh, so
That was not a joke.
So a lot of reading into this like clip right now. Like it's like, yeah.
Let me pause it because again, I'm very familiar with Fresh and Fit. He didn't say they don't do dark. What they said is they don't dabble in the dark. And then they said we don't date Shaniquas, we don't date LaShondas, we don't dabble in the dark. That is the whole quote that they said. And at the time that they said it, which was a little bit before this, it wasn't a joke. Myron and I don't know if the other one is called. I always want to call him Coconuts in Barbados, but I know that's not his name, but this is what pops in my head every time. They don't date black women. They have made it very clear they don't date black women. The black women that they have on their podcast are stereotypical black women. They're ghetto, they're loud. They're not women. They're not women that any well-respecting black women that black men date would really be around. And that's not me being stereotypical or anything. And I know they do that on purpose because they can't show a woman who's like me, younger, of course, or a woman like the girls that I hang out with, younger, of course, because that doesn't fit the narrative that they're trying to prove. So that just wanted to point that out real quick. Let's finish up the clip.
So here's what I think, though. I think
I do believe
It's a joke, man.
I mean, that's a cop out.
Yeah.
It's a cop. Like if your show is educational and I'm trying to help people, and then when I make when I say something wrong, oh, that was a joke.
I run around the room.
We gotta
with a
make it
notebook.
entertaining too, bro.
I
You
think
know what I'm
ninja
saying?
stuff.
I'm
like,
always
we make
going to be
jokes, bro.
on the side. I'm always going to be on the side of jokes, and that's just who I am. I'm a comedian. I support.
We
that,
also
and I
can't
support.
necessarily ask him to have the same empathy as us as
Yeah, of
comedians.
course. Al's
and
not a
that's
comedian.
a black dude.
Al's not a
so
comedian.
that's
But a
not
comedian, I always
So
got to defend
I can
jokes.
understand. I'm trying to be funny and I misword some shit. But then when I peel it back and I go to and I dig into what you're saying, it's still just as it's more troubling to me.
So say that. Like, say, hey, I misspoke. I told a bad joke. But you guys are doubling down and saying you're like, there's nothing wrong with what I said.
Nope.
There's nothing wrong at all.
But I don't.
like,
but that's
that's
cap.
bullshit. That's
Y'all both
bullshit.
said that you date black women as long as they fit the things that you want.
It's not a normal
But
preference.
no. But like,
you know,
but like, okay. You're taking Double and Dark as like every blogger. We're saying.
So that is that clip, and that's how the conversation started. And what ended up happening is Akash basically said that doesn't make any sense that you guys do not date black women. Because you guys both are black. And Myron technically isn't black. Myron is, I forgot what Myron is. He might be African or Middle Eastern, but he's not Black American. Regardless of what he looks like, he is not Black American. His real name isn't even Myron. His Myron Gaines is not his birth name. He has a very ethnic name, even though I cannot think of it right now. I apologize for that. So what Akash said is it doesn't make sense that you guys are so against the type of women that brought you both into this world, who raised you up to be the men that you are, to be so anti that. I only date Indian women because that is where my love comes from. That is where my life comes from. That is what I date. So Akash has been very serious about dating Indian women. And again, for those of you guys who don't watch my channel, who may be new to my channel, my husband is Indian. He's West Indian, but he is Indian. Like you couldn't tell he was, from the West Indies or whatever, but he's from Guyana. So I understand that them dating outside of their race is not a thing. It is not. In my husband's family, there are two black women. My husband's uncle's wife, his aunt, and they've been married for years now, and she's a wonderful woman. And it took a while for her to be accepted into the family. I always tell people, she walked so I could run, because a lot of people, his grandparents didn't speak to his uncle for a very long time, because dating a black woman, that's not what they really wanted for him. And then I came along and I'm married to my husband, and I'm his second wife. His first wife was an Indian woman, and it just did not work out. But as far as me going to the Mandir and different Indian events and seeing other black women like me being able to high five and be like, oh, hey, no, it's just me everywhere I go. And it doesn't help that I'm 6 feet tall. Like I'm blackety black and I'm black, y'all. And natural hair, the whole thing now. It's just funny to me, but I digress. So he actually ended up proposing to his very, very long time girlfriend. And I actually want to show their proposal just to kind of show how much he loves her and how cute their proposal was to me. So I'm just going to show it really quickly because, again, I think it's very, very cute.
I'll give you everything, baby, love me lights out, baby, love me lights out, you can turn my lights out, I love it like EXO, you love me like EXO, you kill me boy EXO, you love me like EXO, all that I see, give me everything, baby.
And then they went on to have the big Indian wedding. I show the girl he found around the way. They've had a very long relationship and they seem to come from traditional families. So now I say all this to say, her being a traditional Sikh Indian wife and him loving her as much as he has, and him also being a virgin when he got married, I don't think she was, from what it sounds like, but he loves her wholly. This is why her comments and her behavior online, the different clips, are being thrown back in his face and her face. And I don't think she really understands that. It is very rare to see an Indian wife, again, I'm speaking from experience, talk about her husband the way that she has. And there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't make her a bad person. It doesn't make her awful or anything like that. And listen, I'm going to pull up some of the things that she said. I have to pull it up from another podcast because I couldn't find all the clips. So let me pull up some of the things that she said. And I'm pulling it up from probably Mediocre Tutorials because he already has the videos compiled. So shout out to Mediocre Tutorials. So let's just pull that up real quick. Take a look.
Clip was uploaded to her Instagram account in June of this year. You see the date right down there. Let's go.
Do you know what my husband just tried to do to me.
Yeah.
We're leaving. Shut up. We're leaving in Paris in 5 hours, so tensions are a little high.
Yeah.
We also just redid our closet,
This is all her closet now. She took the whole closet.
which we already agreed upon.
Now she's saying she doesn't have no space.
And now I'm saying I don't have space for all my. I don't have space for. Can you show?
Yeah.
I don't have space for all my Indian suits because I like my dresses spaced out. Do you know what Akaash just did?
Here you go. Watch this. Oh my God.
I'm not doing
How
that.
much space exists?
I'm not doing that.
So what do you want to do? You want to buy a separate house with all hanger space?
No, we were supposed to build a wardrobe, but Akaash didn't want to do it
For
because
me,
he's too
because I
cheap.
took the smaller closet.
Yo, are you kidding me? Do you know how much f***ing space he has? Look, utilize the shelves, you idiot!
These are for sneakers. And then this is going to be for towels.
God.
So I get it. She is literally just trying to be funny. She's just trying to be funny. And what I didn't realize is that this woman is a full-time stay-at-home wife. She does not work, which is another thing I've learned, again, being in the Indian community. There are very few women who are 100% or have always been stay-at-home wives. What I've seen happen, and maybe I'm just speaking from the women that I've been in contact with, is that most of them started out with really big careers. Either they've gotten master's degrees as teachers, they're doctors, they're nurse practitioners, they're lawyers, or something like that, they're engineers. And then once they have kids, they stay home to raise the kids, and then they go back to work. And it's all, that's all I've ever seen. Even me in my situation, I work from home. I have a good career, but I work from home specifically so that I can be there for all three of our children. So her being a full-time stay-at-home wife, her first mindset was, I'm going to go be an influencer, and she's not good at it. And I think she said that she's only made maybe $600 at being an influencer. But in reality, to me, what it seems like is that she's just a bored housewife, and being on social media, on TikTok and stuff, is how she is either getting an outlet to other people, trying to be funny like her husband is, because again, he's a stand-up comedian, or, she's just bored and has no idea what to do with herself and doesn't want to go the stay-at-home wife and mom TikTok route, because that route gets a little psychotic. I don't know if you've seen a lot of these stay-at-home moms and wives on TikTok. It's a little serial killer. It's a little crazy. So let me just bring up another one of her clips.
Man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a red flag. And I will say it again, because I know there's going to be already like incel troll motherfucker. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money, and my money is my money. Huh? And look, have I only made $600 from content creating? Wow, I went up $100 from last week.
Okay.
But that's my money.
Begin to react.
So I'm gonna pause it right there. I think she really wants to be entertaining and she wants to be funny. That doesn't excuse everything that she's saying here. But again, this is the danger of trying to be an influencer. It is. You put your relationship out on the line and you make comments because you're trying to be entertaining and you're trying to have everybody laugh and want to engage with your content more, at the risk of you offending your husband or making your husband look bad. I mean, I get it. I get it. She wants people to follow her and listen to her, but she's using her relationship, which is not always the best. And we do see some influencers who do that, and it doesn't always end well. But there are so many influencers who are divorced because they try to use a relationship as content, or they end up in trouble in another way. For example, Brene, the recent girl who lost that lawsuit to the other girl whose husband she stole, she was using that girl, her new husband, that girl's ex-husband, for content. He was in all of her content, and all that content was used against her in court. So using your relationship gets dangerous. Using your children gets dangerous. That's why sometimes on like the organizing part of TikTok and the cleaning part of TikTok, it's a little bit better because those people aren't really showing their children. They're just showing their house. They're showing their restock videos. They're showing their cleaning stuff all the time. And that's kind of it. So the other video I want to bring up is after she started getting attacked. She's getting attacked from a lot of people, mostly the red pill space. That is who's doing this the most. She came out with this video, which to me, well, This video to me did not help her cause at all. I feel like it kind of hurt her worse. And she's not getting the point across that she needs to get across. And she doesn't sound sincere, but let's take a look at the video and you can tell me what you think.
Guys, I want to talk to you really quick because obviously my name keeps getting brought up by either women or men. Lately, it's these red pill guys because I said my money, or what did I say? His money is our money and my money is my money, which is a common saying. Whatever. I'm not even elaborate because I don't fucking care to explain myself to them. But what I will say is, if you're not gonna be a man for fucking women, like if you're gonna say, oh, women should do this for us and we're the prize and blah, 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 at least be a man for yourselves. And what I mean by that is, so I just watched Don't Worry, Darling, finally on Netflix. It's like that movie from 2 or 3 years ago that everyone was talking about. Spoiler alert. But basically these men live in this like virtual reality simulation where everything is perfect. They go to work, their wives clean on them, wait for them. You know, they're like, the wives are basically dependent on their men, like 50s aesthetic, but like the dark side. At the end, you find out that these women never consented to be in this like virtual reality thing. And like when the women start glitching is when the memories of their real life start coming back. And there's this one scene where Chris Pine, the person who orchestrates this whole like utopic town or whatever, he tells Harry Styles to dance for him. And Harry Styles dances for him like a little monkey. That's what I feel like you guys are doing. Whether it's Andrew Tate or these fucking red pill podcast guys, like when they tell you something, when they ask you to jump, you say how high. You're still not a man either way. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you're still a little bitch beta boy doing whatever these fucking men tell you. Why are you mad at us? Why are you mad if me and my husband are cool with each other, if we both make jokes at each other's expense? The difference is my husband will go on stage and say whatever the fuck he wants about me. No one has anything to say. It's like, oh my God, it's so funny, it's so relatable. But then I come on TikTok and I make jokes and now you have a fucking problem? Because I don't have a mic in my hand? Like, make it make sense. I'm not here for the fucking misogyny. One thing that I will say, being canceled by this, like, people doesn't affect me as much because I genuinely don't respect them. I'm just like, okay, like, talk about me all you want, drive traffic to my page. Our YouTube video, our podcast episode that me and Nahal did got 37,000 views, which for us is really fucking high because we're just starting out. So I'm like, okay, keep driving traffic. I'm not even gonna read any of the comments. So it's like, what are you doing this for? Like, there's no way you can be happy. Like, you cannot be happy just doing this. And I feel like if you honestly just tried to find God, worked on yourself, went to therapy, you would feel so much better than what these like little cockroaches and parasites try to tell you. Honestly, that's like my honest feedback. Okay guys, I want to talk to you really quick because obviously
I need to take a break for a second and come back to do my commentary about that video because I just watched that for the first time all the way through. I didn't give me a second. I'll be right back. Um, Jasleen doesn't get it. Her name is Jasleen. She is not getting it. Her bringing in saying that it's misogyny is the issue. It's not misogyny. And it's not because everybody's cool with it because your husband has a mic in his hand. Your husband is a comedian. We all know comedians pull from life. That's normal. This is his job. It's been his job before he got married to you. He has been a comedian. He's been on podcasts, whatever. He's a stand-up. Fine. You take that when you get in a relationship with a comedian. This is what happens. They take your life and they make jokes out of it and they exaggerate a few things. What you are doing, Jasleen, is that you are trying to be as loud and proud out there as possible to get attention. There's no talent in that. You're not writing jokes. You're not, using your life to make funny satire out of. You're just being loud and out there because you need the clicks and the views. In that video, she said, we got 37,000 views on our podcast, and that's a whole lot for us because we're starting out. She's bragging about it. She's proud of this. She is proud that putting her husband out there and making these weird, inappropriate comments is funny. It's working for her. And I hate when women do this. I hate when women always say, I'm not here for the misogyny. calling you out on blasting your family and husband is not misogyny. Me personally, if you watch this channel, I'll call out anybody if you're doing something stupid. If you are thinking that it's a good idea to poke fun at somebody that you love on a public platform for attention, that's whack to me. And I'm going to call it out every single time. I'm sorry. Again, I feel bad for her because one, she's really young. I can tell by the way she's talking, she's really, really young. She seems to be a social media child, and now she wants to be an influencer and she wants to be a podcaster. But does anybody care with what you have to say? Or do we care because you are the wife of a well-known podcaster and comedian? That's the only reason I need to see more of where she has actual talent or life experience to pull from, because it doesn't seem like she does to me. And I'm sorry if she calls that misogyny, she calls it misogyny. But telling people that they need to go get God or something to do, and I know she's specifically talking to the red pill people, and she is right to be annoyed by the red pill people. But let's not act like everybody is cool with you doing this. Like, everybody is not, and this is what happens when you become an influencer and you want to put your life out there. You're gonna have people, not just the red pill space, who are a bunch of losers. You're gonna have regular people like me who are gonna go with, girl, why are you doing this? Especially when you come from the culture that they come from. They are Sikh Indians. And again, I only know this because I am married to somebody in this culture. I would never get on social media. And me and my husband have said cash crazy stuff to each other. We have cussed each other smooth out. We have gone to bat. I would never put that on social media. He has done dumb stuff. Here's a dumb story of stuff that he did that I would never put on social media. He was trying to cut roots to a tree in our front yard. Fine, whatever. And he accidentally cut the water main to our house. Water is now gushing out of the ground. And I am yelling and screaming at him in front of all the neighbors because I knew something like this would happen. And I was pissed off because getting something like that fixed can be a very expensive fix. One of our friends called a plumber and they were able to get it all fixed and tapered back up, and it was no issue. But that made me mad. I could have easily put that story out there, in a negative way and saying, hey, he's stupid and I can't believe, and oh my God, and that whole thing. I could have easily done that. And I chose not to because I don't ever want to put my husband out there like that. I also don't want the wrath of my husband's family, or my mom and dad for that matter, but definitely his husband's family. It's not even just respect for him that I feel like she should have and that I have. It's respect for the family who don't want to see this. Listen, Jasleen, however you say her name, we are not Caucasian. We're not white women. In white families, they think this type of stuff is cute to put it out there. Like, oh, did you see that funny argument that Kelly and Tom had on Facebook? Oh my God, it was so cute. Indian families and black families don't look at it like that. It's like you putting your business out in the street for attention, and you don't need to do that. But again, she's young and she's grown up in the social media era. And I feel bad that she's having to face red pill because of the argument that Akaash had with Myron. And Myron is seizing on this. And Mediocre Tutorials is seizing on this and just saying he's getting embarrassed and this and that. He's getting so embarrassed. I don't necessarily think that he's getting so embarrassed, but I do think his wife needs to pull back a little bit. Like, you gotta pull back, baby, because it's not gonna go the way you want. This is not gonna have everybody, cheering and laughing and thinking you guys are, couple goals or aspiring to be. It just makes her look young and kind of silly. And get off the internet. Everybody is not made to be an influencer. If you're going to be a stay-at-home wife, which you're young, and I don't know if they're trying to have kids or what. You're trying to be a stay-at-home wife social media influencer, you need to take a different route. Doing this type of podcasting, relationship, dating, sex, which is what she's trying to do on her podcast, is just not for you. Once you become a wife, we got to get out of that realm of doing stuff. We just do, because it's not a good fit. Whether your husband's a comedian or he's a garbage man, you don't want to be out here kind of embarrassing him. So that is my thoughts. I'm not going to be as hard on her as everybody else is acting like it's some giant deal. It's just very rare to see a girl from what looks like a traditional Indian family doing this. I'm also shocked that she isn't working right now because they don't have kids. She just maybe she's a new age of Indian girls. And it's interesting because my mother-in-law was talking to me about this a while ago, how the girls who are younger than me, who are now trying to get married, a lot of them just really just want the wedding and the fanciness and all the days. They don't really want the work to actually put into being, a wife and a mother, because it is work. Again, I'm a Black woman and I am married to an Indian man. And even though our cultures are different, his expectations of me have been the same the entire time. I married a woman, I married a wife, and there are expectations that come with that. And I have met them because that is something that he's never mixed words about the entire time. Like he's been very clear about his expectations of what he wanted. And it looks like Akash doesn't care. He's just happy to be with her because I think that's the other thing that's getting left out of this. She is all he has ever known. Because I'm pretty sure he was a virgin when they got married. Let me just double check that. Yeah. Yeah, he was a virgin. And his culture steered him towards the direction towards being a virgin, and he stayed a virgin until he got married to Jasleen, his wife currently. So she's all he's ever known. So him making some big deal out of it and leaving her and all that kind of thing, I don't think that's in him to do, not because he's like some pushover, but because I think his traditional values makes him want to maybe have the conversation behind closed doors, talk to her, get it out there and get things resolved rather than just jumping to get out. We're getting divorced or we're breaking up. He's put a lot of work into this relationship. And regardless of what people are saying, I think I'm pretty sure his wife loves him. I know his wife loves him. She's just young. She's just young and she just really is looking for a place in this entertainment world and hasn't found it yet. And she's using it at his expense. And it's just going to be frustrating. So those are my thoughts. Drop down in the comment. Let me know if you have any questions. I wish them all the luck in the world for their marriage, but it's definitely going to take her pulling back and taking more in the background. And I don't think she's ready for that. But, let me know your thoughts and I look forward to hearing them and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.